Hey guys, it's me, Kate again. This video is going to be my April TBR, and in April I'm participating in O.W.L's magical readathon hosted by G from Book Roast. I'll link the announcement down below. It's basically this readathon that is inspired by Harry Potter. She hosts, this is the third year. There's two main parts. One is owls that are taking place in April, and the other one newts in August. But she explains it great. I participated last year, but just not in April, but just before newts in July, because school, and this is actually because schools aren't working because of everything. I have time this year, and there is one character that I'm always spelling name wrong. So basically you choose your career and you need to take part. Again, same as the last year, I wasn't sure what career I'm going to go for, so I have two just in case something changes. So I have two in place. Basically all but two challenges overlap. I tried that every challenge overlaps, so but I messed up. So instead of all challenges overlapping, I have the one seven, two different ones in the both careers. So that's why I'm not sure what I'm going to go for, but just in case, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 books, and 8 and 2 extra ones that are not for the owls but for me just. So I'm going to be either or Hogwarts professor in Transfiguration. So let's or I need to pass charms, defense against the dark arts, herbology, potions, and transfiguration. And for Hogwarts Transfiguration professor, I need I need Transfiguration, defense against the dark arts, that are already two that overlap, and then 5 additional subjects on my choice. Arithmancy I chose, then charms, again overlapping, divination not overlapping, herbology overlapping, and muggle studies not overlapping. I just figured out that or has less, but okay. So let's go. First is, and I haven't put this in any order, correct one, but okay. So first is arithmancy, which is magical qualities of number 2, balance opposites, read something outside of your favorite genre. I classify fantasy as my favorite genre, even it could be either contemporary or, if we really stretch, romance, but let's say that it's fantasy. I'm reading Skijaški dnevnik Pauline P, which is children's contemporary. So, dnevnik Pauline P series. And I'm reading this. Zašto je ovo? I can't stick the stick things. I needed to put these stickers in just so I could know how many days I'm going to spend on one book, because as I said, I need to pass 8 subjects, so I need to somehow manage it all. The next is Charms, Lumos Maxima. Read a book with white cover, and this is really, I'm rereading Red Queen, this Croatian edition, and that's why it says Petrina Pričalica. This is a little bit stretching because Croatian edition is like this faded blue, but this middle part is white. So I'm a little bit stretching because it's really faded blue and like white in the middle, but that's okay. It has white on the cover. Then Defense Against Dark Hearts. Grimblow's book set at the coast and the sea or the coast. I'm rereading Girl Online. For that, this book is set in New York, which is obviously on the coast by the ocean, not the sea, but close enough. And I just figured out that I haven't said what this was about. This is about a girl named Mare, I guess, who in this world, there are 2 castes, red and the silver. The silver are elite and have powers, red don't. Then she discovers that she has powers. This is the first book. The second and the third have been translated in Croatian. Also, I'm not sure for the last one, but I want to reread this one so I can see if I figured out that my mindset wasn't really focused. My mind wasn't really focused on this book, so I need to reread it so I can maybe continue on with the series, because as I remember, I didn't like it. But just because the character that I didn't like in the book was such a big part of it, so because that was but I was skipping pages and wasn't really focused, so I'm going to reread it. Obviously that character is going to be a big part because he's one of the main characters. But then we have Defense Against Dark Arts, Gringos, book set at the coaster. See, Girl Online. I have reread this a couple of times, but last time 4 years ago, almost. I remember it was summer after the 6th grade, so yeah, this is set in New York by Zoe Sugg. This is by Victoria Aveyard, I guess, and Skijaški dnevnik Pauline P by Sanja Polak, which is Croatian author. And Penny goes with her family to New York because her parents are at least her mother is a wedding planner, so they're going to plan a wedding in New York. And she and her best friend Elliot goes with her. Sorry, that was a cartoon on my computer. So, and there she meets Noah, and things go forward from there. And just because this is the first book in the series, I'm going to jump to the other two that are not part of my owls, just second, because that are second and the third book, Tsura, Girl Online go on tour and Girl Online going solo. So I'm reading this, but like this is when Noah goes on tour and she goes with him, and this is after the breakup. So I think that everybody knows what these books are about because there's been a lot of talking, at least when they came out. Then what we have, divination, third eye. Assign the number on to your TBR and use random number generator to pick your read. Because I was planning this TBR in middle of March, I haven't filmed this, so I'll be reading Petrina Pričalica by Sanja Polak. I'm supposed to reread it, so basically I had, when I was playing this TBR, I have had this and I think 2 other books that I couldn't really find what to do with them, so I generated them. So I don't really remember. I think this and the Red Queen were 2 and there was 1 extra, so it's random generated them so I could see which one goes here, and now I just figured out where to put the others. So this is about this girl named Petra, I guess. And it's just a bunch of short stories about her and her life, and same as Paulina has these drawings of her and her friends and family. Yeah, I'm reading this. And then herbology, Mimbletonia, title that starts with an M. This is Morski dnevnik Pauline P by Sanja Polak, another Pauline P book. And just because I chose this because I wasn't sure if the title was supposed to start with an M in Croatian or in English, because sometimes translated books, because of the translation, don't start with the same letter. For example, a Red Queen in English starts with an R and in Croatian with G. So I chose this one. This is easy. This happens again in the 4th grade on school trip. Just if you saw my wrap-up, you'll know what I'm talking about. Then we have Muggle studies from a perspective of Muggle. Read a contemporary. This I have Secret of Ella and Micha. This is probably one of my favorite covers that I have. This is like contemporary / romance about these 2 characters, Elle and Micha. And basically Elle went to the college, or Ella, how you pronounce it, and then during the break she comes back, and Micha has stayed in their hometown the whole time to basically she changed in college, so no, and he's determined to bring her old self again out. So, and I fall in love. I choose this as contemporary just because it's contemporary romance story, and basically I don't have a lot of contemporaries that are not already either read or in this TBR. So now we have Potion Shrinking Solution, book under 150 pages. So this is knjiga za djevojčice, kako biti najbolje u svemu. This is of course title in Croatian. And this is basically like a lot of tips, like non-fiction, and has a lot of tips and tricks and stuff like that. This ends on page 127. Show you. So it's all, it won't focus, but so it's obviously under 150 pages. I tried finding this on Goodreads but couldn't, so, but it's a book definitely, just I couldn't like find it. I still have the original. Let's go on Goodreads and try searching it. By original title. Because I tried and the cover and nothing came up, but I found it. Now I searched has read the 2016 post. Yeah, I'm rereading this. I want to read all of them, just FYI. And then the last subject that I need to pass is Transfiguration, animal lecture book series that includes shapeshifting, and I'm reading Queen of Shadows by Sarah J. Maas, which is her fourth book in Throne of Glass series. You're supposed to start the book in like April, but what happened is this book is just giant and I won't be able to finish it if I started it in April. So I like started it, but I'm not even, I'm like 100 pages in, and this has 600 and like what, 20 pages more. The last page is page 623. So I'll just be reading this for that. But yeah, and I'll also, I said it in my last week's video, but I'm going to put it in the card again, like I'll link that video and also put card again here. Do you want me to put a link or to make Amazon wishlist and put it in the descriptions of my videos, just so you can see what books I want to own, just for like information, because yeah, I thought it would be a good idea, but I want to ask you guys first. So that's it for this video, and I'll see you in the next one, whenever that might be, maybe next week, maybe this. So bye bye.